Now let's bring in Liberal Senator Alex Antic. Alex, what do you make of today's events? Is this a quiet coup?
Well, look, who knows what goes on with American politics, Rita. Suffice to say that I just am staggered that people are staggered. This seemed to be telegraphed for, I would have thought, years out. I mean, I honestly didn't think that Joe Biden would make it past the first year, frankly. And we saw that because his performances in the 2019-2020 era were actually not that much different to what we saw in that recent debate. It's just that all of a sudden the media turned on him. Of course, from there, we just saw a pile-on. And I mean, I just find it staggering. I saw Vivek Ramaswamy making the point at the presidential elections, Republican presidential debate, that the Democrats should just give up this charade that Joe was going to be the nominee. I don't know. I mean, it just strikes me as being the most obvious train wreck in the distance that I have ever seen. And yet here we are, and people are feigning surprise. So be it, I say.
But they were happy for him to run again as long as they had gaslit the American people into believing he was fit for office. It's only when the polls really turned. I don't think they even care about the debate performance as much as they just see no recovery in the polls for him. So they're just going to throw away the entire process. And when you look at the polls that have come out just since this news broke, it doesn't look pretty for Kamala. This national GE polls got Trump on 44%, Harris 36%, and Kennedy up to 6% there. Joe Biden is backing his vice president, and so are a number of other powerful players, but not Barack Obama, not yet. And he seems to have so much power within the Democrats. Alex, why do you think that is? Why do you think he's hesitant to back Kamala?
Well, it's a great question, and I note that there is actually the convention in a couple of weeks, so it's all yet to be played out, and the way it rolls is quite intriguing. They can vote virtually over the next little period. They'd hope to install the previous President Biden by, I think, the 7th of August. And that didn't happen, obviously. So there's obviously some, backroom negotiation going on. People bring their delegates with them. They are all free to vote now, however they want, though. Biden's Democrat delegates. So time will tell. But look, I mean, this has been such a topsy-turvy period over the last few months yet. I don't think we could safely say that she is home and hosed yet. I mean, maybe there's an outsider that might come through. If you ask Roger Stone, he's been saying Michelle Obama for 18 months. I don't know. I mean, we've had enough October surprises in the last 2 months before we even get to October. I mean, who knows?
It's a very good point, and there's some very smart money saying just that they're going to go with her now, give her a couple of weeks to try to prove herself, and if she fails, then they've got time to back another candidate in, perhaps a Michelle Obama or a Gavin Newsom. I mean, the entire process, though, seems to be shambolic, Alex. You've got a process to find a candidate, and the Democrats seem to have little respect for that. We've seen that in previous campaigns, and again this time, pressuring the president to step down. They keep talking about threats to democracy and how Donald Trump is the great threat to democracy. They don't seem to have a great deal of respect for the democratic process themselves.
Yeah, well, as always, politics in the US is a bit like the portrait of Dorian Gray. You're sort of accusing your opponent of doing the things you're doing yourself. I mean, it's quite right. As Trump said on the weekend, what did he ever do for democracy? He took a bullet for democracy. That's what he did. And so, yeah, I agree. We've heard all the usual overtures. Oh, we can't let Trump be back in the White House. He'll be a dictator, even though he wasn't in the last round. He'll be, whatever the accusation is, he'll be. And of course, the American people now have the benefit of seeing what came under the Trump presidency, which was an incredible economy, a secure border, almost Middle East peace, by the way. So I think you'll find that the mood has changed a lot out there in the US, and we're starting to see people coming out of their shells, which is reassuring.
Well, you've never been shy about expressing your support. You've met with the president. There's a picture of you and him together that you've shared. What can you tell us about your own personal interaction with him and what a second Trump term will mean for Australia and for that US alliance? Can you see, for example, Kevin Rudd remaining in that crucial position, given some of the horrendous things he has said about President Trump in the past?
Well, I notice that everybody seems to be backpedaling now at 100 miles an hour as the Trump presidency gets closer to a reality, the 47th president of the United States. From my own personal point of view, I found him to be incredibly engaging. I mean, I think this is the terrible thing the left don't want to admit when it comes to Donald Trump. He's a consummate professional. He is personable. He is funny. And he listens to people. And I mean, I know that runs against the narrative. Can I just say by the outset that, and this station and yourself are precluded from this pejorative that I'm going to say, but I actually don't care what anyone in the media anywhere says about anything, let alone Donald J. Trump. And I certainly don't care what celebrities say. So it is just intriguing to see these people in real life. They are human beings. As to the Australian scenario, look, I mean, I think people will scramble now to talk about, him in favourable terms, as they should.